What is good, YouTube? It is your boy Rome himself, and of course you as well as myself has been so enthralled with all of the news, all of the action, all of the good things coming out of Fatal Fury City of the Wolves. The game is ticking all the boxes. I mean, it looks great, it plays great. We got to play it at Evo. The DLC lineup is looking good already. Ken and Chun-Li, I mean, the graphics, the visuals, it has a story mode, the color edit, literally everything. They are ticking every single box. However, there's still some boxes that I think need to be ticked. So we know KOF 15 was a great fighting game in the long run, but it did have a lot of issues. There was some stuff that SNK didn't address early on. There was some things they let linger on for too long. And I'm here to tell you that I think there's 5 ways, count them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ways that City of the Wolves can be better than KOF 15. Now, quick disclaimer, what I'm telling you here is not a guarantee for success. SNK could do all these things and the game could be worse than KOF 15, or they could ignore this and the game could still be even better than KOF 15. So there's no such thing as like, oh, this is how you make the game better. This is just stuff that I thought could help the game, could help it broaden its horizon to other players, as well as talking to other players and finding out that this is stuff that they want in the game as well. Before we do that though, of course, I need you guys to hit the like and subscribe to the channel, comment as well, help out the algorithm. You know everything your favorite YouTuber tells you, so go ahead and do it for your boy. We're on the quest for 2,000 followers. We're so close to getting there, and I know you can help me out. All right, this is pretty much no order too, and also this video won't really be heavily edited. It's just something you can have on in the background, but let's jump into the first one. First things first, and this is very obvious, the online infrastructure. Now, you know, one of the biggest complaints about KOF 15 has been the matchmaking, has been the fact that lobbies don't work. And then when they do work, the lobbies are limited to 1 match at a time. How do we fix that? Simply by having an open lobby. KOF has done it in the past. City of the Wolves can do it now. I mean, KOF 14 used to have, I think, about 12 players you can have at one time sitting in an entire lobby with, what was it, like 6 different setups. So that's pretty much every player in the lobby can have a match going on. If people choose to wait, they can wait, they can watch other people play. If you're a streamer like myself, you can have a line where people queue up to play and watch, right? And I think that option is fine, but having that be the one and only option in 15 definitely hurt it a lot in the long run. And I think something simple like that for for City of the Wolves really would just enhance replayability. I mean, the game's going to be faster by design anyways, right? Because of the fact that it's only 1 character as opposed to 3. It makes things a lot easier, right? And then you can tack on stuff like a team mode, right? Like a party mode, like a draft mode, you know, maybe an extreme battle similar to Street Fighter 6. You could have stuff like that in there. But I think for the essence of just having more setups to play people with the online working, because of course that's getting factored into this online infrastructure too, is like, we need the online to work right day one. The matchmaking needs to be crisp, it needs to be clean. If there's any tests that need to be done, hopefully there's some betas, some demos or things like that that can happen beforehand to make sure all of that stuff is working. That's not all though. You know, there's other things that can be done with the online infrastructure, and I think quality of life changes can help and really go a long way from separating SNK, in particular Fatal Fury, away from King of Fighters. I think one that's huge is Street Fighter right now. In Street Fighter 6, there's this setting where if you're hosting a lobby and you're watching people play, they could be playing on a certain stage, but the stage you see is going to be randomized. That goes a long way. For those in the chat, if you guys watch any Tampa Never Sleeps KOF 15, if you check the YouTube VODs are always people complaining about training stage, right? Why all the matches on training stage? Training stage should be banned, etc., etc. And some tournaments have went that far to actually ban training stage. But a way to fix that is you just implement that Street Fighter 6 function where, you know, if I'm watching 2 people play and they're playing on training stage at home, for me it's showing the bar stage, or it's showing the Yuri Sakazaki dojo, or it's showing Billy Kane's street stage. You get what I'm saying? Like it switches up the stages all the time, so that the people watching at home, maybe the streamer, maybe the person running the tournament, they're having a variety of stages being met, while the players can play on training stage if they feel that training stage has the less lag or it's easier to see certain moves. Another thing I look up to, I think would be great, is you know, we're gonna have a jukebox with City of the Wolves. We have color edit, which we got confirmed in one of the recent trailers for City of the Wolves, which is awesome. I think there should be some settings for that too. There should be settings where you can have only your colors be seen on your setup, or if you want to have your opponent's colors be seen, Same with the jukebox. Another issue is if you're playing, you know, in KOF 15, if you're playing a person and they just pick the same stage over and over and they keep winning, you're gonna keep hearing that same song on that stage. Maybe there should be an option where you yourself can have your own set playlist where your playlist gets played no matter what. Number 4. This one might be a little controversial, just maybe, just slightly. But I think we need KOF 13 like trials back. Those trials were a lot of fun to do. Unfortunately, in some cases, those trials inadvertently created a narrative for KOF, right? Where people thought that was how you play the game. But really, the trials were just things that you do. It was like to test your knowledge, to test your execution. Can you do this combo? This combo may not be optimal. This combo might be a 5-bar combo that does like, you know, 800 damage as opposed to a 2-bar that everyone has that could do 800, 75. It's just more so, can you do this? It's fun to do, and it gives you creativity options because you're like, oh wow, I didn't know, you know. And in the case of Shinwoo has a trial where like his super punch actually on counter hit wall bounces. So it's like, oh cool, I can get a counter hit super, wall bounce, activate raw HD mode, and do this long combo. You're not gonna get that chance all the time in a match to do it, but again, the fact that these trials taught you to do that and was a test of your execution and your skill, I think that should come back, because unfortunately, due to the backlash of KOF 13 trials, if you noticed all the games later on, KOF 14 and 15, the trials were like piss easy, bro. They were like, it was like normal, special, super. I think if you can have trials where it's like, here is a certain amount of rev meter, you got 60% rev meter, you got half a bar, you got to do a combo that gives you pretty much all of your resources back in order to combo into your level 3 or your level 2, etc, etc, stuff like that. I think it goes a long way, and it just has a lot of fun aspects to it, right? Also, we live in the age of streaming and content creation, which you're seeing right now, so why not make that stuff? I mean, it produces more content for the game. People who normally may not be interested in the game, they could see a certain combo and maybe say, oh, this is cool. They might like the character. They might want to jump in, test it out themselves. Do some trials like that. I mean, make them more executionary heavy, but also have guides, right? Have regular style. Like, you can even section them off, right? Where you have like, you know, beginner mode trials, intermediate trials, advanced trials, right? Or like, you know, expert trials, whatever you want to call them, which a lot of other games have done. You know, Street Fighter 6 again, Fighting EX Layer also does that too, where they have separated trials. Mission mode too. Now, mission mode, this goes into 2 ways, and I think we're getting something like this with the story mode that they have. But in previous KOF games, there was a mission mode where you can do certain conditions have to be met to beat certain bosses. It is one mission in KOF 2002 Unlimited Match where you have to beat every Orochi character in the game. You have all 3 of your characters, but you don't get replenishable health. You have to beat all of them, pretty much like 10 characters in a row, like a survival mode almost. There's the one where you have to complete, you have to win a round with 1 combo. So you have to pick a character and your opponent only has a certain amount of health, you have a certain amount of resources, and you have to win that round only with 1 hit, or you can only win with throws. Think of a game like Soul Calibur 2, who has the Weapon Master mode, where they have conditions where like you only beat opponents with lows, or opponents are invisible, you can't see where they're attacking, you can only win by ring out, etc, etc. Some type of mode like that. And again, like I said, I think we might be getting stuff like that in the story mode, because I know they showed like a glimpse of like your character fighting like NPCs and you get power boosts and stuff. But having a separate mode like that, I think could be fun. I mean, Maximum Impact, right? You can run over Toto with the tractor. Let me run over, like, I don't know, BJNA. Let me run over Toto, not Toto, Kevin Ryan. Let me just shoot Kevin Ryan. Can I just get a gun and shoot him in the face? That'd be great, SNK. You should definitely have that in the game. But jokes aside, trials and missions, again, more single player content, more content in general for streamers and anyone looking to play the game outside of just the competitive side. It really extends the lifespan of the game, and it would be great if we can get some stuff like that. Number 3 on this list. This is another no-brainer. Cosmetics. DLC costumes, DLC stages. SNK, please. We are coming to you with open arms and a lot of cash. I understand in KOF, there was a lot of characters, right? In KOF 15, you have 60 characters, a total of, that's a lot. It's a lot to make one costume for, let alone two. But if we're looking at, you know, Fatal Fury City of the Wolves base character limit right now, we're at what, 17 roster and then 5 for DLC. That's 22 characters. That's a lot less. 22 that's almost 1/3 less than 60. So that's a lot less characters. And then a lot of these characters are already completed, right? Or at least I'm assuming at this point. But costumes go such a long way, whether it's retro costumes, whether it's seasonal costumes, reference costumes, you know what I'm saying? Like, why can't we have like maybe Rock in the Geese strip, you know? Or we got Terry, I mean, we already got Terry in his classic costume, but we could have like just some other stuff, you know? You look at KOF All-Stars and how they put a bunch of characters like in seasonal costumes, Halloween, Christmas, beach wear, etc., etc. You look at a character like Mai, right? Come on, we could put Mai in literally everything. People will buy it. Same with BJanae, right? You know, I understand sex sells. People might not like that, but those characters are popular for a big reason. In Mai's case, 2 big reasons. But I think of that. And I think of just all of the legendary stages in Fatal Fury. You know, we could take it back to obviously the train stage we're getting, because that's Terry's stage now. But Terry's beach stage from the Real Bout games. You got the OG Geese Tower. You can have Andy's stage from Fatal Fury 2. You have access to so many iconic stages in general. Han Fu stage from Fatal Fury 3 with the parallax scrolling, like that one's cool. There's a lot of iconic stages, and it would be really cool if we can get some as DLC. And that was the thing I thought KOF 15 kind of lacked, right? KOF 15 only had what, 2 new stages? I think it was the one that came with Rugal, the boss stage. And then Naj, for some reason, always gets her own stage. But that was it. There was no other stages really that came with it. And the stages that are in 15 are cool, but we love nostalgia. I mean, the average age of a SNK consumer is like 58, right? You know, we're all old. We're all old as shit. We've been playing these games forever. So why not, man? Just hook us up with the nostalgia, especially with the costumes. We really got to get those costumes. Color edit is nice. And don't get me wrong with that. I think it's cool that we got color edit. I still hope we get more than 4 colors on release, but we really need extra costumes. That would go so far. If you don't think people will buy it, then I don't know what to tell you guys, but I know everybody would love to get some type of extra costumes for their character. Number 2 on this list is communication. Now, communication is a broad term, right? Because that could really encapsulate everything. But what I'm mostly referring to is when it comes to updates, when it comes to roadmaps, when it comes to errors, any problems with the game, such as a netcode issue, such as a game-breaking glitch, such as even an overpowered character, right? And of course, you know, tiers is subjective to a point, but obviously there's going to be situations where the balance is so egregious that it's obvious you can see, you know, this character is the best, etc., etc. But communication, which SNK to their point has started to really get better at with KOF 15, right? You know, talking with us on Twitter whenever there's any situations, any problems with the games, you know. But I want to see that be handled more like adequately, I guess is what I'm looking for. If, you know, the game comes out tomorrow and there's this really bad game-breaking glitch that if you pick Mai and you pick Billy on a certain stage, it just lags the stage, or the stage broke, any type of situation like that, I want the communication to be like immediately, like the next day. They're like, oh, we're aware of this, we're working on it, here's our time frame. Now I understand not every glitch or bug is created equal, and some of them are going to require more time, right? You can't just fix things like that tomorrow. There's going to be some things that might need another week, another month. But as long as the players and the consumers have an idea, right, of what is going to happen, if it's a matchmaking issue, let us know, hey guys, this might take a month or 2. It at least lets us know, okay, and they're trying to get it together in this month, as opposed to no communication, no tweet, no email or any post anywhere, so you're just left to thinking, oh man, I hope this gets fixed. It may get fixed, it may not get fixed. You know, you just gotta wait and see what happens, and that happened, unfortunately, like I said, quite a bit with KOF 15, and it's just one of those things that I think with City of the Wolves, hopefully they continue to just be stronger at that and be more alert and more assertive and announcing things ahead of time, talking about situations and problems and stuff that like can be fixed, you know, in a short time span. Actually, you know what? I just remembered this while this happened. SNK is no stranger to doing that. They've done it in the past. When Samurai Showdown first came out, I believe the first week of the game, there was like something was going on with the input delay. It had like an extra 8 frames of lag or something. And I remember that got fixed like that. Like the first week into the game, SNK had some people come fix the input delay issues, and that, I mean, 8 frames is a lot. That fixed Sam Show already. It fixed it from feeling sluggish and slow. It made it feel a lot more faster and more updated as a game. So that's what I want to see, basically, but on every single thing, every single glitch, every single ridiculously overpowered game-breaking character, every single bug, any type of communication, even, like I said, roadmaps, DLC, all that stuff. Let's just keep improving the communication between the community and the company. And last but not least, the one thing I think SNK could do to make City of the Wolves better than KOF 15, and this one might be a little subjective, just hear me out though, and that is proper DLC balancing. So KOF 15, there's 2 sides of DLC. Either you were the GOAT, the best to ever do it, got your money's worth, won you back your money, or you were just not playable in your first iteration. Let's talk about the first DLC team, right? You can see one of the characters on display right here, but Team Garo, the first DLC team for KOF 15, they were released in the first month of the game, so it was still fresh, but the team introduced Rock, who was strong, not as strong as he'd be in the next meta, but he was a rather good character. Then you had Gato, who immediately came in, and the meta went from VRT to GRT, right? Just shifted right around him. He became the best point character, one of the best characters, period, in the game. And then Bijane was unfinished, right? She was uncooked. She was not as good as she would later become. And obviously, you know, that's 2 for 3. That's not bad, right? That's not bad at all. That's okay. But let's do something real quick. Let me pull up this list that I have here. I ended up making a little bit of just a short chart. Now, this is Season 1 DLC and Season 2 DLC. Now, the point of what I'm saying here is making characters feel complete when they come out. Not talking about balance patches. I'm not talking about later metas, anything. When a character is released, when you drop a character, people pay money for that, right? When you pay a little extra money for something, you expect it to be of a slightly higher quality, right? Because that means that the developers had more time with said character or stage. They've had a bit of an understanding of where the game is going and what the game is doing in terms of like how it's going to be played, how it feels, etc., etc. So you expect DLC characters to not always be like broken, right? They shouldn't be pay to win, but they have to be good. DLC characters have to be good. Now, this is 20 DLC characters. 20 overall from Season 1 to Season 2. 12 out of 20 DLC characters were unplayable on release. They were garbage on release. And if you don't remember, I'll refresh your memory right now. Bijane, not good on release. Rugal, unplayable on release. Do I even need to say Billy Kane, who's still bad now after like 3 different balance patches? Orochi Shermie. All of Team Samurai Showdown. All of Team Samurai Showdown on release when they were dropped out were not good. Nakaruru got better after balance patch. Haomaru and Darlie Dagger still weak. We go to Season 2. Shingo, I don't even count Shingo in this list because Shingo's he's comic relief. He's not supposed to be too good. He's supposed to be heavily relied on his critical, his critical hit RNG factor. That's what's supposed to make him good. If you have the good luck to get the crits, which they did buff later on, but let's keep it going. Kim Cop1. Kim, not good on release. Kim needed some help. Sylvie was good. Gonna excuse her for now. The rest of this DLC, Ginitz, Naj, Dualon, Hinako, Dualon had a whole patch dedicated to him to make him better. Ginitz, unplayable on release. Naj, also not good on release. Hinako, Still a weaker character, but we found out that she's not as bad as she could be. And the point I'm trying to make is that 20 of these characters, out of 20 of them, 12, that's 3/5. That means 3/5 of your DLC is not good. If anything, it should be reversed. You're paying extra money again, and I cannot, stand on that statement enough. You're paying money. When you pay money for something, it should be up to a higher standard. Of course, a lot of these characters would end up getting better, right, as balance patches happen. But what about those people who bought the game who said, man, I really, really, really love Haohmaru. I'm a Samurai Showdown player, and I really want to play Samurai Showdown characters. They bought KOF 15, they bought Team Samurai Showdown, and they got slaughtered. They got destroyed. What happened to that person? They may not play the game anymore. And that's really what it comes down to, is retaining, players, making everyone feel good about their characters. And I just think at the end of the day, when it comes to DLC, you gotta make sure that even if your DLC character isn't like completely busted, even if they're not, release Gato, they should at least be like release Geese or Yamazaki, where they're mid tiers. They're playable. They could be high tiers, they could be mid tiers, but I honestly think DLC characters, maybe this should be a video for another, discussion for another video, but I just think in general, DLC characters in any fighting game should be, they should be strong enough that if I pay whatever I pay to buy them, I should have some earlier success with them, or at least be decent enough to play. So once again, those are my 5 ways that I think City of the Wolves can improve on what KOF 15 has established. If you like that or if you agree, let me know in the comment section. Let's talk about it. But that's going to be enough for today, guys. I got to get ready for this weekend. I'm going to be heading out to East Coast Throwdown, which you should watch. Also, there's going to be an event happening in Brazil for City of the Wolves. They're going to be announcing some more stuff. Hopefully we get another sneak peek at characters, or figure out whatever the hell Cristiano Ronaldo is going to be doing for this game. But with that being said, I am Rome himself. You've been great, and I'll see you next time.
That's all for now, fighters. But if you've enjoyed what you've seen, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Also, don't forget to follow Rome's social media pages down below. Take care, see you next time, and most importantly, thank you for watching.